Hey, overcomers, I want to talk to you about being the operant power. And that saying comes from Neville Goddard. Basically, when you are being the operant power, you are consciously creating your reality and tapping into your imagination to create the life you desire. So daily, as I always tell you, we should be walking by faith and not by sight. Because often the things that show up in the natural, it is going to be contrary to what you're believing. But your job as a conscious creator is to stay in faith. And that's what being the operant power is. It's staying in faith and using your imagination on purpose, using your imagination deliberately. So you want some practical examples, I'm sure. How do you put this to everyday use? So I've shared with you the manifestation of sunflowers. Daily, somehow, some way, they present themselves because it's something that in my reality, in my life experience, I want to see daily. And when they show up, I know it's a sign for me to continue to stay in faith and that I'm on the right path, keep believing, keep moving forward. Don't allow the stresses of life or certain things that are happening around you to get you off course. And I understand it can be a challenge because we're still living this life. But I find sometimes if I'm focusing on things that are like frustrating or something that may cause me to feel like, okay, this is not good. I don't want this. That's the time that I know like, okay, I'm focusing too much on what is currently happening, what is right now in the natural, rather than my vision, rather than that dream that I should be allowing to fuel me and push me forward. And so this is why daily, our job as conscious creators, as people of faith, is to use your imagination, tap into your imagination. As Neville Goddard said, imagination creates reality. And as Albert Einstein once said, that imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. So the other day, I was just like, in prayer time and I guess meditation and just talking to God. And sometimes like I'll just have a thought in my mind. It's like a conversation between me and God, and then he'll give me a download. And so I want to encourage you with this. Anytime you have a desire, there's something that you desire, something that you want to happen, just know that some future version of yourself is going to experience it. And that's why you have that desire. I think back, as I shared with you before, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to become a teacher. It was like a dream of mine. I wanted to become a teacher. I would have my stuffed animals, pretend I was reading to them, teaching them. And lo and behold, that thing that I did in my imagination, it came to pass. And I'm sure there are things in your life that you thought of or things that you desired, and now you are literally walking in that dream. You're walking in that vision manifested. So I just want to encourage you, keep walking by faith, keep being persistent, keep consciously creating. And daily, I want to encourage you to use your imagination. Think of something that you want to see manifested. Think of something in your mind that you desire, that you want to see show up in your outside world. Once you see that, once you experience that thing and you have proof of that thing, you know that it's your faith at work. You know that it's your imagination at work. You know that it's the work that you've done in your mind, and now you're seeing that thing come to pass. For example, I've told you about sunflowers. I didn't have a discussion with anybody else that, oh, I want to see sunflowers daily. It was just a thought in my mind. And now daily, I see sunflowers. Also, coffee. I told you about I wanted to manifest and have free coffee. There's times I don't want to pay for coffee. I like drinking coffee. I also like tea also, but to start my morning, coffee. And so there's a place that if I were to go to it every day, he would give me free coffee. I know that. So on purpose, sometimes I don't go because I just, that's just me. I'm like, no, I don't want him to feel, but it's something that, like I said, it was a manifestation. The other day, I said to myself, my neighbor, I have a neighbor who I love talking to because he is very awake and we can get into these deep conversations. We could talk for like an hour and time just passed. So anyway, I was like, I haven't seen him. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's still away because some part of the year he spends time, back home in Italy. So I hadn't seen him. And lo and behold, today I'm getting out of my car and I hear, "Hey, stranger." And I was like, oh my gosh. I said to myself that I don't want this week to pass. I think he's back, but I said, I don't want this week to pass without seeing him, at least being able to say hi. I thought that yesterday, it manifested today. So I want to encourage you to test out your imagination. Literally, if you have to write a list, I don't care what it is. You want to, I don't know, see sunflowers. You want to see a particular flower. You want to see a particular car drive down the road. You want someone to say something to you. It could be like a friend you haven't heard from in a while and you want them to call you or message you or something. I want you to test it out. And how you test it out, it's your thoughts. It's between you and God. It's not an outside conversation with someone. It's just your thoughts. Once you see evidence of things that you've imagined or things that you thought about or things that you desired, that you didn't have a conference call, it wasn't a conference, it wasn't a conversation with someone else, it's between you and God. Once you see that show up, that is proof that it's your imagination at work, that your thoughts are literally creating things. That's why the word says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The word says to call those things that be not as though they are. But too often this world has us programmed and truly, I got to tell you this, dumbed down so you never step into that power. That's why there's people that will go their whole life and be controlled by this outside world and never tapping in. Okay? The answers, everything that you desire is within you. God has given you everything to live a successful life here on earth. But too often we allow the things that present themselves in the natural to have us rattled and shaken. And we end up moving out of fear instead of moving in great faith. And faith is where the miracle signs and wonders show up. Faith is how you overcome the circumstances of life. Faith is how you see your vision, your dreams, your goals, everything that your heart desires to come to pass. It is going to take faith. And I just want to tell you, don't allow certain things that are like showing up like, oh, it may not happen, the time delay. Oh, maybe, I'm thinking too big or it can't happen. No. One thing I want to tell you is this. If you've seen it in your mind, if you've already seen the vision in your mind, it means that it's going to come to pass. You've already done the work in your mind, in your thoughts, in your prayer, in your affirmation, in speaking over your life. It's just that some things take time. As Neville Goddard calls it, it's a bridge of events. If you've ever watched a movie, right? And like, I think about my favorite movie ever, The Notebook. There are a bridge of events. Like, I don't want to give it away if anyone hasn't seen it. But at the end of the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, you're like totally blown away by how the movie ends and how everything comes to pass. But there were so many bridges of events that occurred in the movie for that thing to happen. Your life is like a movie. You're the director of your life. You're writing the script of your life every day that you get up and every day that you're speaking to your life, you're thinking over your life. The things that you're focusing on, that's what you're creating. So if you like what's showing up in your 3D world, what you're experiencing right now, I want to encourage you, keep going. Keep speaking those things. Keep focusing on those things because you're going to have more of it. If, on the other hand, there are things that you know that need to shift, that need to change, that you want better for your life, start to focus on those things and consciously create, meaning on purpose, being intentional, creating those things so that you can have those things that you desire show up in your life. So I hope this encouraged you today. I didn't mean to go this long. I don't even have my setup, but I was like inspired to jump on and just talk to you. So I just wanted to just talk to you quickly and share this quick word with you. So I just hope that this encouraged you today. I hope you feel inspired. Remember to be intentional. You are the operant power. That's what Neville Goddard means about you being the operant power. Be the operant power by being a conscious creator of your life and consciously manifesting and consciously walking by faith. Because whether you know it or not, your thoughts are creating. Your thoughts are creating your life. The things that you're focusing on the most, that's steering your life. Just like when you get in the car and you start to drive and you turn the steering wheel, your thoughts are steering your life. Do you like the direction you're going in? Check with your thoughts. If you don't, you can shift it today. You can shift it right now. The moment you think a different thought and start to focus on something different, that's the moment that your life starts to shift, starts to elevate and move in those things. The moment. You have the power within you to change those things, okay? And here's the thing. The things outside of you will change once you change the things that you're looking at, once you change the things that you're focusing on. So I hope this encouraged you. I hope it inspired you. Thank you so much for being here. I love my overcomers so much, okay? You are like the inspiration for me to get on here and to encourage you and to inspire you. I want you to move into everything that God has for you. That dream, that desire, that vision, it's not in your mind. It's not something you desire by accident. It's because a future version of you has experienced it. And when I say future version, I don't mean like, you know, some people may say, oh, this vision I have is going to take 5 years, 10 years. It could happen tomorrow. God can move on behalf of somebody, have somebody move and shift something on your behalf. That's why I say he's always at work. But it requires your faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please God, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So always walk by faith. Choose to walk by faith. This world wants to program you for fear, to dumb you down, to keep you stuck, to make you feel like, oh, I can't do this. I can't. No, it's lies. And those of us that are awake, okay, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, sometimes it's hard to be awake because it's hard because a lot of people are still, I don't want to say sound asleep, but a lot of people are still not awake to who God is. That power within, haven't really fully tapped in. But my prayer is that you will tap into that you will awaken to who God has called you to be so that you can be empowered, so that you can shift your life. You don't have to wait for the outside circumstances to shift or change. You don't have to wait. I know church people don't come for me for this, please. You don't have to wait for your pastor to speak a word over you, or the elder, or the, you know, the intercessor. You can intercede for your own life. You can speak a word over your own life. You can prophesy over your own life. Okay. As I said, you are with you all the time. You are with you in your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, everything. You are with you. So choose to speak what you want into existence. Choose to speak life-giving words. Right? The word of God says that his word is healing and life to our flesh. So speak words of life. Speak affirmations over your life. So I hope this encouraged you today. I hope you feel inspired. Thank you so much for joining. If you like this message, please comment, share, subscribe, and always be an overcomer.